Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today with my new favorite Three Musketeer deck. That's right, I found this Three Musketeer deck the hard way. In fact, somebody beat me with it, somebody smoked me with it, and we'll start out today's episode by watching me, yours truly, lose to this deck. And, you know, I hate to admit it, guys, but that's how I come across some of my favorite decks. Decks that take me by surprise when I don't see things coming, and that's certainly the case in this replay against Robin here. So here's how it goes. I'm playing this kind of interesting variation on a cycle deck. I was testing out the lightning spell in the cycle deck. Didn't really love it. I only played a few matches with it, but this is what I'm playing. And now we get to take a look at what Robin is playing and kind of go through his or her thought process there. So I used the lightning pretty early there in combination with my Hog Rider and my Skeleton to take out the Inferno Tower, and then I'm able to mitigate the damage, or actually no damage done, by these Barbarians in turn. So you will want to note here that the opponent has the Rocket card, and I don't even know, I don't think he or she, I'll just call it a she, I don't think she even plays the Rocket at all until the end of the match. So I had no idea that she even had the card, and ultimately the Rocket in combination with the Three Musketeer is what made me pay to the tune of a 3 crown against me. That is never a good sign. So immediately after that, I was like, okay, I gotta try this deck. So I have a princess down the board right now. I still haven't gotten much action with the Hog because the Barbarian Hut really disturbs my Hog attack on that right tower, since the Barbarians are obviously spawning in the right lane and they can take down my Hog, at least take him down to about a third health before he even reaches the tower. In the meantime, and this is really the crux of the strategy with that deck that the opponent is using, she is basically biding her time until the last minute of the match, because when it gets into double elixir mode with the deck that she is playing, oh boy, it can be lethal, and we'll just see how lethal in just a second here. So, hate starting this video off with a 3 crown against myself, but I think it's important at the same time to show that, hey, YouTubers are human and we lose just as much as everybody else. In fact, I get tweeted at almost every time I lose if the person follows me on Twitter, just to remind me that they just beat me. So continue doing that, guys. I don't take offense to it, but it is pretty funny. And there it is, the Three Musketeers. So Robin plays the Three Musketeers, and then she plays the Barbarians, and I can't do anything but just give a sad face. And to be honest with you right now, I make a bad play after bad play after bad play, but it doesn't matter anyway. I play I play a zap spell, I play the minion horde, I play a princess, and it doesn't even matter because the Three Musketeers, backed up by the 8 Barbarians or whatever I was going against with the Musketeer, with the princess in the background, it was not spelling anything good for yours truly. And then to add insult to injury, boom, another Three Musketeer, and boom, the cannon goes down, and there goes my crown tower, and there it is. 3 crowns. Not too excited about that, and then they rub it in with the laughing face. Oh, I'm always a good sport in this game, guys. I'm always a good sport, and the karma never comes back to me. I never end up getting people who are good sports back to me. I guess I should have made my name just Ashlane, like Clash of Clans, instead of Clash with Ash, because I feel like everybody is like, okay, I'm going to really rub it in because I might be on YouTube. But anyway, let's go ahead to me playing the deck, and you can see, knock on wood, I am, right now, I'm undefeated with the deck, and I am only 3 matches in, though, so it's not saying much. But this is my first time playing the deck over here on this replay, and it's against this guy, and he does something very interesting. Speaking of emotes, I don't want to give any spoilers, but you guys already know the result of the match, so he gets cocky at the end, and he gives me a well played when he thinks he has me, and then I turn it around, and I end up coming back to beat him. So let's watch how I do it here. So, first time with the deck, not exactly sure exactly, you know, the best strategy at every given point in the game, but I do know that I want to kind of defend early on. I want to use that Barbarian Hut to try to maintain a defense in the meantime, and at the same time, I do want to make sure I have that Elixir Collector. Now, another philosophy with this deck is I want to do what the opponent did to, what Robin did to me in the replay we just watched, and I want to hold back on my Three Musketeers till the last minute of the match, but that does not happen for me, because as you just saw there was a P.E.K.K.A coming at me, and a Witch, so I had nothing else to play other than the Three Musketeer card. And now he gets a Prince charging at my tower. I have nothing to play. As you can see, I have arrows, a rocket, a Barbarian Hut, and an Elixir Collector. That's not going to stop a Prince, so at this point, I'll tell you what's going through my mind. Ash, this deck sucks. You suck, this deck sucks. But honestly, what's really going through my mind at this point is, you know, I think we need something in place of the rocket card in this deck. Maybe a minion or something small, or maybe a cannon. Just something like in the event that the opponent has a Prince like that, I need something to be able to counter it. So maybe you guys can go ahead and make that adjustment yourselves. By the way, if you don't have a Princess card and you do want to play a deck like this, go ahead and substitute archers in here. And this is one of the few cases where you can actually substitute archers or spear goblins in the deck, and it won't make a huge difference. Obviously, Princess is preferable, but you can get by with archers or spear goblins. Again, he's going to come at me with a Prince in the left lane. I'm going to put the Musketeers in the center of the map this time, knowing that 2 of them would target the Prince and 2 would start their own push after taking down that Witch in the right lane. So at this point here, things are pretty much even, but he has 2 Elixir pumps on the board, so I'm kind of worried at this point. So I get my second Elixir Collector on the board, and then I immediately put the Barbarian Hut. I know that will really slow down that P.E.K.K.A in the opposite lane, but again, he comes at me with a rocket. Wow, this is back-to-back of attacks with or matches against a rocket. Not what I'm really expecting, and he has a mirror card too, so he mirrors the rocket, and he takes down my right tower, and there's only 10 seconds left on the match. He said, well played. Did not know that I had a rocket of my own. I took down his right tower, and then immediately I dropped the Musketeers. 3 Musketeers in the left lane. He has nothing to counter them except for the arrows. He uses the arrows, but that's not enough. I came back at the end, and did I say I was always a good sport? I did it. I did the laughing face because he started it, guys. He started it by saying well played. But either way, that's how the deck kind of works there. It wasn't the best match in the world, but hey, it was my very first time playing this new deck. So your first time playing a deck, you can't expect to be an expert overnight. So let's go ahead and clear up a space here in my chest, and let's get into a live match against Duran Duran. So we're going to go ahead and play a little bit more conservative here, so I'm worried about this opening hand right off the bat here. I have nothing. I have no units. I had the Elixir Collector, the Rocket, the Arrows, and the Zap. Now at least I have the Princess, and at least he actually played an Elixir Collector of his own, so hopefully we can kind of recover here. That's another reason why I might take out the Rocket out of this deck. I'm not a huge fan of the Rocket in general, maybe, and I don't want to substitute another damage spell. So let me go ahead and arrow his Princess here. He's playing a minor deck. This is more in tune with what we're expecting in the game right now. Okay, so it's a minor Royal Giant deck, so that's going to be fun to try to counter. So we have 6 Barbarians right now against his Royal Giant, but he's chipping away at my Barbarian Tower there. My Barbarian Tower, Ash? My Barbarian Tower? Okay, my Barbarian Hut. No idea where my brain is at today. So here comes the Miner again, and I'm just going to kind of let them go here. I'm going to put a Princess in the middle after his Princess gets onto my right tower. So now I have, he has 2 Elixir Collectors now on the board. And let's just be honest here, not the best start in the world, but it's very important to remember, hopefully we'll capitalize on it, but it's very important to remember that the strength of this deck lies in the last minute of the match, because that's when you can really get the best value out of the Barbarian Hut, aka Tower, and the Three Musketeer card. So you can see I used my Rocket pretty early on against his Elixir Collector. I figured it was decent value since I was already maxed out in Elixir, and he had just placed another Collector on the board. Normally I wouldn't necessarily do that unless the situation really called for it like it did there. So now we're going to go ahead and get the Barbarian Tower on the board again. I'm just going to keep going with it because it's kind of silly now. But the Barbarian's going after his left tower. He counters with a mini P.E.K.K.A. I'm just going to hold back here, maybe play this Elixir Collector. Let's see what he does here. And I'm going to have to play the Barbarians instead to try to counter this mini P.E.K.K.A. and take down this Ice Wizard, and we are finally in the last minute. So let's try to make something happen here. So let's put an Elixir Collector on the board, and then we're going to put another Barbarian Hut over here, try to occupy this Royal Giant. Let's use some arrows against this Princess back here. And although the Elixir trade isn't outstanding for me, losing a Barbarian Hut to a Royal Giant, I still come out a little bit ahead, I think, because it did spawn a few Barbarians, and the Royal Giant obviously costs a 6 elixir to my Barbarian Hut that costs 7, so I don't know, it's probably not the best, but I have the Three Musketeers and my Barbarians on the board right now. So this is the win condition. That Princess is really aggravating me right now, so I'm going to use the arrows on the Princess. He has a cannon ready for me. What does he have? A miner right now. I'm going to put another Barbarian on the board. I do have my Elixir Collector helping to maintain this Elixir advantage, so immediately I'm just going to go ahead and do another Three Musketeers, and that hopefully should be enough to take that tower down. Let me just zap this mine. Okay, I'm going to zap the Princess for a second here, and this should be it. Come on. Come on. Okay, there it is. Whew. Wow, that was intense. So that's the gist of the deck, though. I mean, it's a really strong last-minute deck, so you should really try to defend strong in the first 2 minutes of the match, and then hopefully you have the lead or close to the lead, and then from there on out, you can really capitalize on how aggressive and heavy your deck is in the double elixir portion of the game, and keep your opponent scrambling, especially if you're able to keep some of your cards a secret, not like I did. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and as always, take care, guys.